Hello, peoples. It's
Uh,
time. This is Tempest Tenebrorum, home of all things World of Darkness and Chronicles of Darkness, apparently. We're here every other Friday, sitting around bullshitting about our favorite role playing games. I'm your host, Peter, and let me introduce my co host, Kide.
how you all doing?
And joining us tonight are Zero and Brian Perryman. Say hi, guys.
Sup.
How you doing? Thank you for having me back.
Always happy to have you, man. Um,
I love it when I get to talk about Diablerie.
yeah, I bet you do. So hold on a second. Let me get my
I'm
other
a seasoned professional.
let me get my other stuff out of the way real quick. Most of the people who are fans of the show and in general White Wolf will know this name, Neil Peart. He crossed the Rainbow Bridge this morning, and I've spent the last 3+ hours crying my eyes out. It was the first show I ever saw, first concert, and I'm never gonna forget that. And I mean, there were a lot of us who knew that he was retiring last year, but we didn't know why. We always assumed it was just arthritis because that brother man, he spent a lot of time behind that drum kit. But it turned
Quality
out it
time.
was, huh?
Quality time.
Yeah. And so it was, it is with a heavy heart that I have to. For those of you that don't already know, I'm having to pass this on. So, anyway, tonight, guys, as Brian mentioned, we're going to talk about some Diablerie. gives
Obey
me
your thirst.
gives me the shivers. Oh my goodness! I'm just saying. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a very stringent argument about which side of the coin commits the most Diableries. Now, I'm pretty sure it is the Sabbat, but
Mm.
now that the Assamites are members of the Cam, I think the pendulum might have swung the other direction a little ways,
Just a little bit.
just a smidge. So, as is want, um, we're gonna throw it out to Kita. He gets to ask the first question.
All right. So, more than anything, why do you think that on either way, why do you think it's considered like the worst thing that you can ever do to another kindred? Well,
Go,
it
man,
depends
go.
on it depends on which side of the coin you're going to ask.
I
If
agree with that.
if you ask the Sabbat, we're reclaiming these useless tools, the antediluvians, and their souls must be reclaimed. But also, you've got a bunch of motherfuckers on paths that don't don't believe in Diablerie too.
Well, and we
Um,
also, like I mentioned prior to this, was the Assamites, and they're reclaiming the blood for Hakim.
uh, those are only the ones on Path of Blood. The ones that joined the Camarilla are not the ones on Path of Blood. They're the one. They left the mountain because Ursholgi is a fucking madman.
True that.
Now, later on down the road, yeah, Ursholgi was right, but there's a spoiler for you. It's been 20 years. Read a fucking book. Um, but the ones that joined the Camarilla, because in my 20 years, I'm going to tell you outright, in playing LARP, I committed more fucking Diablerie in the Camarilla venue than I ever did with any Sabbat character I ever played. Actually, I don't think I ever Diablerized in Sabbat except once. In Camarilla, I had a Bruja, one character that I Diablerized 3 times. And I sat there while this girl cried and asked me why for 20 minutes before I could even get a round of combat out. Like, I had to get her husband to come over there and run the fucking combat for us because it was just like, she's like, I was like, I'm killing your character, but why? Because you did this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are you gonna do with me now? Well, I'm gonna Diablerize you. Well, why? Because I fucking hate you so much that I think I'm more deserving of your blood than me. And like, I went through all these explanations. It was still why, and I was like, fuck it. You're 9th gen. You have Protean. I'm a fucking Bruja. I need Protean. There. Is that what
that's
you
what
want
I
to
was
do?
getting ready to get to. Was that I have known characters in the past who use it as their get out of jail free card to collect as many disciplines as they can. Not realizing that not only do you have to diablerize somebody to get that discipline, you actually have to find somebody to teach you how to use it.
But you gotta think about the Camarilla, though. This is a party that's put together by the Good Old Boys Network that don't want to get ate. So,
now, you just said something really important, something that I've had a lot of people argue over it. They say that you can learn any discipline as long as someone like teaches you the discipline and lets you try their blood. You don't have to diablerize someone so that you can have that discipline. But on the other hand, if you do diablerize someone, if you consume their essence completely, that's where it gets a little bit of a gray area, because they think that once you diablerize someone, you actually learn, you know how to use the discipline at the level that it's given to you. So you don't really need someone to teach it to you.
Yes.
But that's the way I've always ruled it.
Yes and no. That depends on my point of view from the storyteller, and depends on how you actually control it. Because you drink the essence of that vampire, you get that discipline. Yes, you have the power now, and some part of you that is that essence you suck basically knows it, but that you can manage it and control it in a perfect way, the same as the other vampires they do because they've been using it for a while. No. So in my point of view, depends completely on how the storyteller wanna move around and do it. But the way you actually mentioned how you manage your bruja, that's completely a Sabbath mind. Like, you don't deserve your blood. You mess it up. You are weak. I'm gonna dry you out.
Right, and to interrupt, I gave her that last answer just to shut her up because it was 20 minutes, and I'm like trying to do something that really should have took 5. And people in this game were really known for being meta, so I was just like, dude, we got to do this quick. This has to be like a prison thing. Like, we got to walk by with our screwdrivers and go shiv, drink, and leave her body behind. And it's just kind of like, and I agree with you. Because what it's been is, in the last few years, we've had those new rules, the BNS system. And you only get up to what that person had in disciplines, but you have to buy as many of the disciplines as you can afford with XP right there. And you had a chance to catch a dark shard. And what a dark shard was, I just ate this person. Guess who now is my personal fucking passenger? You now have this person's soul in your body. It's like Dexter. If any of you have seen Dexter.
Yes, but
you have his dad basically following you around, but it's that person you ate.
But and no, that was the issue with Tremere.
And
Salat,
yeah.
Zaulo, as the Kwaijin called him. But did we just lose somebody?
I don't think so.
No, man, I'm still here.
Kide?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, just checking. I heard a ping, but I don't, and I'm not used to the sounds that Zoom does yet, so that must have been an actual. Anyway, Kide, if you could speak up or move your mic a little closer, that would be much appreciated.
I can give it a try.
I know you're sick, dude. No, I'm sorry.
Tell me about it.
I've been lucky I haven't gotten sick yet this year, but that's only because I don't socialize.
It also has to be that it's only been 9 days for this year.
Well, yeah, my
See,
car
I
went
hadn't
tits up,
gotten
so I don't get out anymore. So
I've got glaucoma, so I'm always sick. And
shit.
you caught me. What was Tuesday? 3 days ago. 3 days after my operation. So
well, I
Oh,
figured this was
high.
something you could actually do while still
Yeah,
recovering.
yeah. I'm high on pain pills. Um,
Damn.
and weed, but I live in Colorado and it's legal here. Um,
Right? Damn it.
yeah. Well, here's the kicker though. Here's the kicker is I live in the one and only county in Colorado where recreational is illegal.
But that
No,
doesn't mean you can't drive 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Try like an hour.
Oh, you must be really far towards the center of that particular county.
Yeah, I'm in Colorado Springs, and now you're partially correct. I can drive to Manitou and go get weed, but it's like a $bazillion increase.
oh
I
shit.
can drive I can drive to Pueblo and get weed, but that's an hour away. Or I can go to Denver and get whatever I want, and it's straight up medicine or retail. It's not as bad as far as the prices are concerned. Like I can get a bag of gummies for $20. I can
Yes.
get
Focus.
I can get an ounce for 60. I can X, Y, and Z. I can do all that.
Ounce for 60?
Uh-huh.
That's crazy cheap.
Nigga, I got glaucoma.
That's crazy cheap. Yo,
Well, I've got glaucoma, so I just go in there and say, "Hi, I've got glaucoma." Oh,
here's your bag of gummies. Have a good day.
here's your bag of gummies, and here's your weed, sir. Have a nice day.
oh, literally. A
So
nice
anyway,
day.
let's go back to Diablerie.
Diablerie. It's delicious.
I know. I
Here's my-
love edibles, man. I wish I could get them here. It's awesome. My case.
Oh,
Thank you.
Diablerie.
Dude, I hate to ask,
So-
but can I get a cigarette, please? I'm having a really bad day. Go, you keep talking, guys. I'm sorry. I'm talking to Dustin. I should have muted out.
So we were
No,
asking what makes Diablerie so wrong, and my retort was, it just depends on which side of the coin you ask.
You come. Hold on.
As you said,
problem
it's
with
depend on the
Diablerie-
coin.
Oh shit.
Go ahead.
So yeah, here's the thing. I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate because in my experience, I've played more Camarilla than the bot, and from what I've seen, if you just let the players diablerize left and right, soon you're gonna have no NPCs left. Your campaign's gonna go to shit,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be. It might turn a little bit boring. It depends on who you play with, to be honest. But eventually, they're gonna have all of the disciplines, and the challenge is gonna be gone. Especially because it's said that well, I read it in many books that vampires are supposed to use their disciplines as a last resort. Excuse me.
Well, I mean, you automatically, without using celerity, you still have vampiric speed.
Right.
That's just as a for instance.
Yeah, but we'll go to the side of the camera. Now, you mentioned something really interesting there. The game can become boring because you start overpowering the players. Yes, that actually can become annoying in many ways. You play in a table that with me that actually that happened, and it's annoying.
Huh?
Nevertheless, depending how you want to run a game, the storyteller has the power to make it more difficult for them. Like, okay, you want to eat left and right. Okay, they're gonna start hunting. No hunting you. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
because it's
Oh, they
against the
hunted.
camera.
It took them, God, 4 years to finally figure out that me, my sire, and my broodmate were serial Diablerists. And here's the thing. So, like, we got blood hunted. And I was like, all right, well, let's just see, who shows up to game. And a good way to figure that out was, let's drive by the werewolf game to see how many people are there. Werewolf usually only dragged about maybe 10 people out of their trailers. And, yeah, that was about it. There were 85 fucking people at Werewolf that afternoon. We drive by, I look at my best friend who played my sire, I was like, we could just stay the fuck home. They can't kill us if we don't show up to game.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
I was like, or we can just have the most epic fucking death ever. And we showed up, and like my friend, like my heart was already removed like 2 years out. I had my heart removed, encased in cement, put at the bottom of a fucking river in a chest, covered in lead, underneath a cinder block, inside the beam of a fucking bridge to a highway. My shit was done.
Did you?
Oh yeah, and then I killed and Diablerized him. But because nobody needs to know. And anyways, we show up and he gives his heart to somebody that's not on our team. He's like, "Oh, I trust that player." I was like, "So you're gonna be dead by the end of the night."
Yep.
And sure enough, like we finally get caught and we're lined up, and he's like the Logan, the Prince and Pusis is like the Logan. I promised the Logans would live on if they showed up and surrendered themselves. They will live on in the afterlife. Pulls out my sire's heart. I look at him. I'm like, "Well, you have a good night, Saudi." Fucking hand to flames his fucking heart. He dies right there. My broodmate dies. Took them 4 hours to kill me because I had fucking Aegis and Celerity and Paralyzing Glance and fucking Majesty, and I was using every single bit of that shit. And all I was trying to do was get away. I had advanced obfuscate, so I was vanishing. Oh, okay, you see me again? I'm gonna vanish again, motherfucker. and I almost got away. But this motherfucker with necromancy caught me. I was like, all right. He used something to deny my last retest that I had. And he was waiting for it too. And I was like, well played, man. That was fun. But it was fun because 85 motherfuckers showed up and fought me for 4 hours almost. Just to kill my character.
I'd have fun with that.
And this wasn't a game that was at like a fucking library or at some, a high school. Like, this game was actually on the streets of Marysville.
Oh.
Like, it was like, because there's a big part of Marysville that was closed after 6 o'clock, and it was all kind of like a 1950s-ish feel to all the buildings.
Roll up the sidewalks, do they?
Yeah. And like our Elysium was like an actual physical location. It was the Buckeye Water Temple. So, like, I mean, it was a real cool experience to play there, and I lived there, so it was just like, it was great, because, like, everyone's like, oh, I'm so tired. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and, like, everyone's going to afters and everything, and I showed up to make my appearance to have whoever buy me my fucking last meal, because they killed my character. And, I eat, and they're like, oh, we've got a 4 or 5 hour drive home, and I'm just like, oh, man, that sucks to be you. I drive 10 minutes to my house, and I crawl in bed with my wife and my ex-wife now, and I went to sleep. But the point of the story is like, yeah, they're going to hunt you if you keep doing it over and over, because, like, people are going to catch on. Is it going to take them 4 years? Yeah, if they're fucking stupid. Like, or if you're really good at fucking hiding it, like really good. And we were really fucking good at hiding it, even though we were Brujah. And, and it was mostly me hiding the bodies because the rest of my brood, not too smart. I bought weird disciplines like, I don't know, Auspex.
Yeah, see, that was what I was getting ready to get to. Was that, unless you have Auspex, you don't know for sure that they've actually committed Diablerie until it's, you know.
Yeah, well, there's only one for sure positive 100% way to do it, and that's through thaumaturgy, taste of blood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Because there's still flaws and everything that show you that you may be a Diablerist. There's
more because, yeah,
and even the new, even the latest Asimite flaw. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
no, it's okay.
Shows the Diablerie streaks in your aura. So that's like their downside. Is I think it's like the Asimite warriors or something like that have the streaks in their aura. So you look at them, even if they're not Diablerists, they still have the streaks in their aura. So the only way
the streaks in the aura is that after a certain amount of time without diablerizing anything, they start like fading.
Yes,
But
they
with
did.
taste
Yeah,
of blood, with thaumaturgy,
was...
that one, it says it in the rules that it can be millennia, like thousands, hundreds of years can pass, and they're still going to detect if you have tasted the blood of an elder.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. But as far as the streaks are concerned, they never go away on an Asimite elder or an Asimite warrior, whether they be diablerized or not. That was one of the things I remember reading. Hence why I never played a fucking Asimite warrior. I always played a Vizier because you didn't get that flaw. I'd rather be obsessed with hunting down fucking 17th century Chinese bases or something than have fucking Diablerie streaks in my aura in a sect of vampires that fucking hate me already.
Yeah, good point.
Now, you mentioned earlier about going out with style.
Uh-huh.
If you're going to do it, if you know you're going to die, it won't take 4 hours. All I got to do is you pull what's called a whistler, catch you fuckers at a bad time, and there goes the thermite.
Right. Well, it's like this. I don't like character suicide unless I'm just done with the fucking character. And I've only done that once. If I'm gonna go into a situation that there's a good chance I'm gonna die, I'm gonna show up still. But bitch, you better pack a lunch because I've been doing this. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I built my characters like Gehenna's coming tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. So, you better have a game plan ready. And every single person that's came after me learned, especially in Austin, they learned real fucking quick that I don't come into that game without thinking, okay, this is all the things I'm gonna do. Like my Nos Auntie Earl. I've had so many characters, storytellers, NPCs, all kinds of shit come after Earl. And I thought Earl was going to die in the first 6 months I fucking had him, especially when the Archbishop told Earl to cause a major boom boom distraction, and he stole a diesel like gas truck that carries gasoline and drove it through the gates of the Texas State Capitol and set it to explode. And like spray painted N-word did this because we were trying to incite a race riot before that was an issue in the Camarilla. I thought I was going to die after that. But nope, 4 years later, I lasted through Gehenna and actually ended up stealing Absmilliard's giant fucking alligator submarine fucking thingy and using it to eat the Toreador antediluvian and the Venture one because they invaded Austin.
But that was before y'all found out that, or we found out that Gehenna is an ongoing thing.
Yeah,
It's not actually happened yet.
yeah. But
So I don't know who's in the channel tonight. Come on, sound off, y'all. If you got questions, please give them to us. We're gonna talk. We're gonna be talking Diablerie for the next hour and a half. So we're gonna
yeah,
have
going
fun with
out in
this one.
style. Like if you know your character's gonna die, or you're just sick of the fucking character, like, or you're just done. Like, hey, you know what? I accomplished all the things I want to accomplish. I really don't see this character doing much more, or me having the energy to do much more with this character, especially in a LARP setting. Like, go to your storyteller and say, hey, I want to end this story. What could I do? Well, you know, or maybe go to your friends and say, hey, I know you have a thing for this character. Maybe we can tell a cool story with it. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, you
But
planned it for the character.
yeah, plan your death. But I mean, when it comes to, hey, we're going to come after Earl, I hope you all packed the lunch. You know, that was always my response. So we're going to come kill your character. Okay, pack a lunch. And like one-on-one, like I took on like 4 or 5 kindred before. Like, are you still there?
Yeah, still here.
Oh, okay, yeah. It just said thank you for using Zoom. I'm like, okay, you're welcome. Did I get kicked off?
No.
But no. I mean, I've seen people like throw down like just good character deaths, and you always wonder why. And it's just like, you know, I just wanted to retire the character. I was done. And there was a time like when I first started Requiem, when we were forced to play Requiem for 4 years.
Yeah, all right.
Like I was sick of my first character. Like I was just sick of it. And I went to my storytellers and I was like, hey, what do you think we should do? And they were kind of giving me bullshit endings. So I went to my friend, and I'm not a member of the MES, nor do I plan to be ever again. I went to my friend and I was like, hey, you want to be Blood Potency 6, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, I need $100 because I got kids. Let's work out a cool story. And he's like, I'll give you $100 for BP6 because the last time he checked, like a BP bump at an auction was $400 or $500. So I was like, give me $100. You can Diableize my character right now, buddy. Because I had a BP6 character, like, and I was doing nothing with it. Nothing. And I was done with it. I wanted to play a Kybit. And I showed up to a game. He showed up to a game. He gave me $100. And then he gave me a ride home.
That sounds like a pretty deal.
Yeah, we both got great ends of that deal. I mean, if the MES ever found out about it now, I'd be expelled. Oh no, too late for that.
Too late for that. I was about to say.
Yeah, false accusations and everything.
Fuck them and the horse they rode in on and their little fucking dog too.
I've heard so much shit since I've left. Like, one of the higher ups asked me if I planned on coming back, and I was like, you know, first of all, you never gave me my money back for my membership. I was like, second of all, I don't really think I should pay $25 a year to be falsely accused of laundry list of crimes that never happened.
You guys still there?
Yep, still here. Hello, can you hear us?
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I would just rather play in someone's online IRC game than have to go, because now like games aren't fun anymore. Everyone's games are ran at someone's fucking house. Like no one ever goes through and like they charge you a fucking site fee to play at someone's house. What are we doing? Paying their fucking mortgage?
Yep.
Pretty much. Like, you know, no one goes to the trouble of, hey, let's have an actual site for game. let's have an actual place. Like, make us feel like we're actually going somewhere. That's what I liked about, when I first started, when I lived in Marysville, we played there. And in Old Town Sacramento, we went to Old Town Sacramento, which was like kind of like a restructured 1800s kind of thing with a fucking railroad museum. And when we played in San Francisco, we played at Stanford University, or we played at the Palace of fucking Fine Arts. We didn't play
that'd
it.
be a good place. Yeah.
It's a great place to play, and it's not someone's fucking house. So I can walk around and smoke, and not have to worry about, oh, do I have to put my cigarette out in the driveway? Oh, now I gotta go back. Now I gotta go back into your super fucking hot house because there's 80 fucking people in there.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work for me.
Yeah, and even now, like, sometimes people get a fucking library and like don't make any effort in decorating or anything like that, and it's just like the games just don't seem fun anymore, dude. And I'm sorry, I'll get off my.
Yeah, let's go back to the topic at hand. I get that you and I both have issues with them, and we all know what's going on. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Kide even knows. I think.
No, I never played with them. I never had the chance. I never had a
No. The problems that we're having with that particular, the Mind's Eye Society, specifically the Austin chapter.
Yeah.
Team Snowflake.
Team Snowflake. Yeah, I know, right? That's awesome. Thank you. That's awesome. Let's start calling them that.
Oh, there's T-shirts made, dude. You didn't know?
Wait, what?
There's legit T-shirts that say Team Snowflake. That's for the Austin domain.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, someone went out and made like logos for the certain different domains that are kind of bullshit.
Yeah, known for their pissiness.
Yeah. And Austin's was Team Snowflake, or Austin Snowflakes. It's
oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I can believe
I thought it was funny.
I did too. It's awesome.
I do too. That's fucking great.
Yeah.
So, anywho,
anyways, Diablerie.
Moving back to Diablerie, as if
Diablerie is great.
I support that.
Let's just roll it down. Which clan do you think would be more, other than the Assamites? We're not going to talk about them. We've covered that part. Other than the Assamites, what clan would be more inclined
Venture
to commit Diablerie?
Gangrel.
La Sombra.
That was my second guess.
Huh?
I mean, Sabat. We know that Sabat are going to do it as soon as they get the chance.
Not necessarily, because
Not
if you get too
necessarily.
much power, you also become a target for the Sabat. So we go back to the point that you have to know the balance and know overdoing it, because then you start becoming what they actually hunt.
And as I said earlier, there's a lot of Sabat that are on certain paths, and those paths don't allow Diablerie.
Yeah,
So, you got Honorable Accord. Feral Heart, people think, oh, you can just do whatever you want. Fuck no. I was on Feral Heart for 4 years. I couldn't even use a cell phone. So,
I don't know. You all look like savages to me.
yeah. Earl was the savage of savages. I kid you not. But anyways, I was saying Venture. Venture, like, screams fucking Diablerie to me. Next to Tremere, but
yeah, that's what I was going to say is Tremere, because they've got the pyramid to protect them.
Yeah.
They can get away. Their whole clan is based on Diablerie.
True, but I mean, I was discounting them because that's the obvious fucking answer.
Clan.
No, but you also mentioned something really interesting about the pyramid protecting them.
Mm-hmm.
The same way, the prince is gonna protect the other venture. Like, oh yeah, I'm the prince. I actually eat 3 people today. Like, yeah, but nobody's gonna tell me nothing because I'm the prince.
Yeah, but that's only if the prince is a Ventrue.
Yeah.
Not all princes are Ventrue.
And if you think your prince is a dirty fucking Diablerist, your next call is to a fucking Archon.
Yeah, right? That's where I would step in at that point and go, oh.
Because that's what we did in Austin. Oh, you're a fucking Infernalist? All right, cool, buddy. Hold on a second.
Yo, Theo, come here, man, Theo.
Yeah, Theo Bell. Can you get your black ass down here, please, sir? Thank you. Calling Theo Bell. And sure enough, the next game, Prince wasn't there anymore.
Right.
Prince was on extended leave.
Extended leave, you say. But yeah, you're right. I honestly, there were a couple of clans that I expected to hear but didn't. You know, because honestly, I did not think about Ventru at all. It just doesn't seem like we're trying to play well in the sandbox on our own. We don't need people, tipping the boat, so to speak.
But then think about you're unworthy of the blood. We shall reclaim it. You gotta think about the Ventru oath that they take. If you're unworthy of the blood, they will reclaim it. Doesn't mean that they're gonna fucking just kill you. They're going to reclaim it and give it to someone who's worth more for your blood than you are. And it goes the same way with La Sombra, too. La Sombra and the Courts of Shadow are very much the same way.
I can feel the La Sombra. That was more of an option as far as I was concerned than the Tremere.
But if you look at Path of Night, though, if you look at Path of Night, though, which most La Sombra do follow, not so much about, hey, let's go drink down some motherfuckers.
But also think on the vein of the Ventru.
Mm-hmm.
The vein of the Ventru is you are only allowed to drink from someone specifically. Not a person, but some type.
Yeah, that's the clan flaw, is having a specific feed.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the other question I have about Diablerie, and I've been sitting on this ever since we decided to do Diablerie as our next show. Was okay. I know drinking a vampire dry is to commit Diablerie. What if you just drain all the blood? Like using one of those tools that they use in the mortuaries?
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. When it comes to Ventru, just because you drink that blood and it's not that certain type of person or that type of thing that you go for, it just means you're not going to... I think you only get like half or a quarter sustenance from it, and then you regurgitate the rest.
Not necessarily. You also have to roll... depends on the storyteller and how they want to manage it, but you have to roll to prevent frenzy, because you can actually enter on frenzy because you are feeding yourself with something your body is not agreeing with.
Right.
It's like...
But once you get all that blood out of their body, I mean, the soul is not blood. So,
yeah.
I mean, you can drink whoever's fucking soul you want to. It's like, oh, I can't drink that soul. It's got to have blonde hair, blue eyes. No, that doesn't work that way. We had a Ventru auntie in our pack that if she didn't like your shoes, or if your shoes didn't match your shirt or something like that, that was her feeding type.
See, now that seems more of a Toreador thing, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys have completely glossed over my question now, damn it.
Uh-huh.
If you drained all of the blood
Uh-huh.
using another method other than drinking, does it count as Diablerie?
No, it does not.
No, it does not. I support the same. No.
Yeah, because all you did was drain all the blood. You didn't drink down the soul and the essence, and the soul and the essence is still in the shell. You still have to drink that.
Yeah, you're just feeding. Technically, you're not really absorbing anything from the body. So if you don't absolutely drain it, if you just drink all of its blood points and leave it there, there's a chance that the victim might just go on frenzy, or that they will just die. But you will gain nothing from it other than sustenance.
Okay.
And a blood bond.
Good answer. Well, not if they're
Actually,
dead.
but could be a good also a good death without actually have the need to commit a diablerie if you actually mention it that way.
Would that just
Because
send
like
them into torpor then instead of?
If you have to declare a killing blow, I mean that's in my world. If you don't declare a killing blow and you just drink their health points down, and you don't say I'm drinking this person's soul, yeah, it just sends them into torpor
No, I meant the
until
draining the other way. I was mentioning. If you drained
like
all of the blood from a kindred using a tool similar to the what embalming.
I mean if they're not already torpored or staked, then it's not going to kill them. They're going to go into a frenzy.
Or torpor.
Oh, that's what I was
I will,
asking. Is it
Yeah.
torpor?
Yeah.
I will move with torpor
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
because for frenzy you will have to have the at least some blood to
At least one
drive you
point left
insane.
to go frenzy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To have you that rage of I need more. But if you have
Indeed.
nothing, if you didn't actually enter on frenzy when they actually were doing that, you just sleep. Like a cold, like you're in a really cold room, you cannot get warm. The only thing you do is sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like my room.
Man, I can't sleep in a hot room. It's got to be chilly.
Don't come to Texas, man.
No, I'm good, man. Y'all keep that shit down there.
I don't know. Like I liked Texas. I liked living in Austin. Like the weather never really bugged me, even in the summertime.
I mean, it
Like,
gets pretty hot
hate
where I
fucking hot
live
weather.
in Tennessee, but it's not for long.
Right. I mean, it doesn't get hot ever here in Colorado. It's always fucking miserable. I hate it here.
And the mountain that I live on is, part of the second oldest mountains on the planet. So what
Right.
we have are a lot of holes
Peaks and valleys. Uh-huh.
in a lot of caves around here, and with and caves that have running water. So
Yeah.
what we have is called the radiator effect. When you come up out of the valley up on top of the mountain, you can feel the temperature drop.
Right.
Usually about an average between 5 and 10 degrees. And that's because of the radiator effect. It's crazy. And that's why you couldn't pay most of us to go off the mountain during the summer. No. You're going to Walmart? Here, hey, go ahead and grab some shit for me while you're down there, because I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
here it's like you're waiting for fucking Han Solo to ride by in a fucking Tauntaun just to go to King Supers.
Uh,
Shit.
so,
I mean-
okay. Now,
Yeah.
here. Okay, most of the greatest power changes in Kindred history have been due to Diablerie.
Mhm.
Yes or no?
Yes and no, but mostly yes.
Mostly yes.
And I
mean,
know
Sasha
which one
Lycos.
everybody's thinking about, but there are a couple of other ones out there. Like, Hardstadt.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else? The Diablerization of, it's not Urshulgi, it's the other guy, the Vizier, the other dude.
Alrod?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a major power shift in Alamut.
Mm-hmm.
Major power shift.
Yeah, that happened in the Assamite novel.
Oh, in the clan novels, yes.
When Urshulgi woke up, he ate dude, and then Fatima's like, "All right, I'm gone.
Yeah, she's
That's
like,
it.
peace, I'm out.
Let me go find my Lasombra love slave and go wreck that pussy."
My goodness, her being in love with not Madeline, but
Lucida.
Lucida. Yes.
Ishida.
The only kindred that I know of that can move well, Earth melded.
Oh yeah,
That's how
she's the
she
only
killed
one.
her. That's how she killed Makata. Because
Yeah.
he expected her to pop right back up where she went in, and she came up behind his ass, and it was over.
Yeah, she came up behind him and just did that Assamite spit thing, but
Yeah.
just vomited it all over him and melted him down.
Mm-hmm. And I
And
can't
then
think of
my
anybody
favorite
more
thing was
deserving.
like, my favorite thing was Tally fucking walks in, his fucking Templar, sees it all happen. He's like,
It's like, I'm good.
well, I'm good. I'm done. I'm leaving.
Peace out.
I
Peace
did
out.
what I did. Bye bye.
Back to Atlanta for me. You girls have fun.
Mm-hmm.
That
That's
happened
right.
because he allowed it. I'm done.
Yeah.
So yeah, there have been some pretty major power shifts in other fashions, but yeah, Diablerie seems to be right up there near the top
I mean, there's
because
also Sasha Vikos, who went before the Convention of Thorns and diablerized her sire, and then threw it up, and then ate it up, and then threw it up again, and then ripped off his own dick and threw it at the Justicariat. There is that. That was kind of major.
Sasha, man,
Now,
I don't know what's up with he, she, it, whatever the fuck.
He went back to being Micah.
Uh,
now I have more than a question. I want your opinion on a topic based on this, because again, we go back to the how the storyteller will manage the way of Diablerie. It's manage and control on the table. So, what about the meditation? Because one of the points says that Melkavian, to his discipline and everything, can see the souls he have been eaten. So that mentions that it can be human or it can be also other vampires. So if what you think about that? That you when you already mentioned this before, when you actually commit Diablerie or Amaranth, you eat the soul of a vampire and you carry with him all the time.
You can, yes.
So here's the funny part: if you are a Malkavian, you have like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda behind you all the time, bothering you and poking your back.
I mean, maybe you should have picked a different clan to play. I don't know. That's
Okay.
my fucking answer.
Nerd sidetrack for a second. I've been having an ongoing argument over the last week about which is the proper term. Is it force ghost or force spirit?
Force Ghost.
That's what I said.
Bullshit.
But no, she keeps saying, well, that's what it says on my action figure. I said, what makes it, what action figure? That's not canon. What the fuck are you smoking? Seriously. And she said, well, if it's on my action figure, that makes it canon. I'm like, please.
I mean.
No.
I just paid $8 for the fucker. I can call it my forced dildo for all I care.
Right?
I mean, it's canon now, motherfucker.
Apparently.
Hey, it wasn't your figure, so yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was, like I said, even on the Wikipedia, or the Wikipedia, has it listed as Force Ghost. But there is a subtext in the actual, what is it called? The article it's in, that say, yes, it can also be Force Spirit, but that is not canon. And I tried. I did. I sent her the link. I said, read. She said, I don't care what it says. My action figure says it's a force ghost, force spirit. I'm like, whatever, Ziggy. Come on, girl. She's a bigger nerd than I am, and that is not. How should I put this? That is not an accolade that I lay on too many people, because I've been a nerd for a very long time.
So at the end, we agreed is for spirit, right? Okay,
Force
let's
Ghost.
go. Keep going. No, just kidding.
No, no,
You
look,
got
it's
it.
like
So yeah, now you've got Yoda Force Dildo poking you in the back because you're Malkavian, on top of like more Force Dildo swacking you across the head because now you eat a bunch of people.
Uh-huh.
I mean, learn to role play with it, or chapter one, character creation. Here you go. Um,
Now there
that's
is also another subject that I got you, man. There is another subject I'd like to broach here, is that okay? Not many vampires go to the Shadowlands.
Mhm.
There are a few,
Mhm.
okay.
and I'm wondering if you're diablerized, you have a better than average chance of winding up in the Shadowlands than to just
Shit.
poof.
That's actually really interesting.
That's
Right?
a
No,
really
that's
good
yeah,
one.
I know. I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, I
I
can
mean,
feel that. I can.
sure.
I mean, well, Enoch was in the Shadowlands for a very long time
Uh huh.
prior to the Gehenna stuff, and now
Uh
that
huh.
it's back into the Skinlands again, um, we find out that there are a lot more vampires running around in the
Uh
Shadowlands
huh.
than we thought.
Yeah, there was the other 13 other fucking clans.
Uh,
Yeah, there's like Maquette and like, as far as old world darkness is concerned, like you go into Enoch and then there's like all these other clans like Maquette and like several others that you end up discovering, but they never prospered. They died with the flood.
Yeah,
So
pre antediluvian. I don't know that
right,
that's a word, but okay.
yeah, they never got a chance to be an antediluvian because they never
They made it didn't make it
procreated.
past the flood. Yeah. So
Yeah,
pre-diluvian. There it is. That's the term.
there we go. Um,
All right, hold down the fort, guys. Keep talking. I'll be right back.
but yeah. Anyways, so yes, I guess I can imagine that you would have you know souls following you around, telling you what to do, what not to do, fucking with you, especially if you're a Malkavian, especially if you roll horribly and get soul shard for every single Diablerie you pull off. Um, I've
No,
seen it happen. I've seen someone lose all their humanity in one night.
really?
Uh,
How?
yeah, they just lost every fucking challenge. Every fucking challenge. I sat there and watched it. They went from like humanity 3 to 0 in one
no.
night.
The thing you
And
have to
then
do
like
at the first one is watch your dice. After that, like you have a bad die, you ask for another one. It's like, nope, not these ones anymore.
I know the storyteller. I think it was more inexperience of the storyteller than anything else. But like we looked it up in the rule book, and it was like, yeah, if he's frenzying like that and he's wanting to lose to join a path, then he has to get down to 0. So, and then like we made that roll to get him to accept his path, and it didn't happen, and he lost that roll too,
Oh,
and yeah, he was just a frenzying beast we kept in a box and just let him out whenever the Camarilla attacked.
Bring out the gimp.
Yeah, pretty
bring
much.
out the Kim.
Bring out the gangrel. Ah! Then this like wolf shaped gangrel thing come out on a chain and he'd kill a bunch of shit, and then we just bring him back in and put him
Close
back
the
in his box.
box.
Yeah,
Yep.
just like Toy. There's a Templar for a cardinal. His name is Toy, and he's a Samedi. He has no arms, no legs. They keep him in a box, and he's completely fucking insane. And this is in like the Red Lister book, the Camaria's 10 Most Wanted. One of them is this guy named Toy, and they just keep him in a fucking box. And whenever like they want to do some gangster shit, they just bring Toy and they throw them at people. And Toy grows ghost arms and limbs because he has necromancy, and he just tears motherfuckers apart like Cthulhu.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did you know that they're doing a Call of Cthulhu movie?
Yes. I'm excited about that.
I hope it isn't shit.
It's actually going to be a 2-movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
They announced that they're going to be coming out with one, and if had success, they're going to make a trilogy about it. I'm actually interested in that, and I've been following news on that. I'm excited.
I mean, come on. Other than At the Mountains of Madness, there haven't been any Lovecraft movies, really.
Yeah. Has anybody watched that Witcher series yet?
I am
episode 5.
3 episodes in, but damn it, I'm trying to watch like 50 things right now.
I didn't realize Henry Cavill was in it until one of my friends told me.
Yeah, that's The Witcher.
I know. Well, I figured that out.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize, I didn't do the head math until someone said, yeah, Henry Cavill or Superman does a great job as The Witcher. I'm like, Superman? What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, no, it was like when I found out that Prince Dorne, the Prince Oberon of Dorne, was the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that was epic, man. That whole first season is epic.
That was great. Just writing. I'm not going to say series writing, TV writing, movie writing.
It was.
Everything Jon Favreau does, everything he puts his hands on is fucking gold.
He's like Seth MacFarlane, man. He cannot make it something bad. It just can't happen.
Even Swingers, back in 1996 when Swingers came out, if any of y'all have seen that movie, that was a Jon Favreau movie. He directed that. That was a great movie. That had Vince Vaughn, Jon Favreau, a bunch of other people. He directed the first Iron Man movie, and look where that's at now.
But the dude who plays the Moff in The Mandalorian.
That's Gus from Breaking Bad.
Yes. This brother loved playing him some bad guys.
I was like, is that fucking Gus from Breaking Bad?
Yes, it is. And Dustin had to tell me that. I didn't recognize him at first.
Oh, when
we only
talked,
got 2 episodes with him in them, you know.
Well, but when he talked in that last episode, I was like, it's fucking Gus.
And I'm like,
it's
man,
Gustavo. I was like, all right,
ice cold.
Yeah, but yeah, Diablerie.
Sorry, that's part of the show, man. We get tangented, and to be perfectly honest, even though our games are kind of niche, we are all nerds at heart here.
Oh hell yeah!
And
I mean, I've got my own show. I've got my own podcast that I do. And I swear to God to Mama, every week, no, Mom, I won't talk about just wrestling this week. Sure enough, it's an hour about fucking wrestling. It's an hour about fucking wrestling.
So did we actually get you hip to doing that, or did you just want to do it already? And
a little bit of both. So what it was I always wanted to do radio because I'm ugly. And
got a face for radio, dude?
I've got a face for radio, and I've always wanted to do it since I was in high school, and hearing you guys do the show, and then my friend Danny, that I grew up with, he started doing a podcast about 1.5 years. Well, actually longer than that. He started doing a podcast, and I mean, I'm not a professional, but sometimes his shows are great. Sometimes it's dude, quit being such a fucking mark. It's I understand because I've worked in the business of professional wrestling before. I've worked in the business end and figuring out what brings in money, what doesn't bring in money, what's going to do this and that. So I've got a different outlook on it than just being a fan. I'm still a fan. I'm still a 5-year-old kid sitting in the front row eating my popcorn.
With
But I
Ric
also could.
Flair,
Mhm.
one of my
Nope.
favorite would do with the dude with the sausage back in the '80s, the Mighty Igor.
Okay.
You know what I'm
And
talking about?
I think so, yeah. Um, but it's more just like I talk more about like, okay, I understand fans are angry about this, but here's why they're doing it. It costs think about it. Back in 1998, it would cost Turner Broadcasting System 500,000 fucking dollars just to do one episode of Monday Nitro back in 1998.
That's
And
crazy.
you had to produce 52 of those every year. And that's just covering, the building, the set, the lighting, talent, catering. You had to pray to God that your ticket sales covered that your merchandise covered that you brought in enough buy rates on your last pay-per-view back when pay-per-view was a thing. It's not anymore. And like fans don't understand that. So like I've got on the podcast now to like kind of join in and up that.
Yeah,
Hey,
I get you.
I'm
So,
bringing you more of a reality of this is why they're doing it. I understand it sucks. I think it sucks too as a fan, but they're running a business.
yeah,
Vince
and it's
McMahon,
all about numbers. You got to have your viewership, man. And
yeah.
that's how you guys make your money, is those ads and all the other fun stuff that goes along with
Well, on
that
top
kind
of
of
that, you
thing.
got to think about sponsors too. Like,
That's what it just said.
yeah,
Yeah. But you're right.
sponsors,
Go ahead. Cuz
sponsors pay out
I
so
got
much.
one for you.
Sponsors pay out so much money every show for you to have so many ads ran during your program, and fans get pissed because oh god, this match took up 3 segments because they had to run commercials. It's like if they didn't run those fucking commercials, jackass, you wouldn't
You
have
wouldn't
a show
have
to
a
watch.
show to bitch
You wouldn't
about.
have a state of the art arena set whatever to go to watch your show. Even if it's a fucking TV taping in a Hollywood studio like they're doing now for the NWA in Hollywood. Like still, that's better than the nothing you had, 5 years ago.
So, my first um taste of this kind of thing was when I was in college. I actually got hired on as the actual third shift DJ.
Uh,
And oh, dude, you want to talk about? You want? Hold on, my cat's about to pull one of my posters down off the wall, and I'm gonna kill him. I'm talking to you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You better get your butt off of there.
don't
Just
talk to me about
getting the call
asshole
like,
pets, dude.
Anyhow, so what happened was we were required, as Bryan was mentioning, there's an A list and a B list and a
Um,
C list that you
mhm.
had to play. You had to play so many A list songs and so many B list songs, and you can throw in a C list song if you run long or short or something. You can go, one way or the other with it. Now,
Right.
one of the A list songs was uh, U2. Still haven't
Mhm.
found what we're looking for.
Right.
Oh, dear God. I cannot even explain how much I grew to hate that song.
They're a
And
great band.
yeah, great band, don't get me wrong, but back when it was, come on, guys. Yeah, Jesus, just
They
please
were a
find what you're
great.
looking for. So, and no, that was my thing. Is towards the end of the song, I wish they would find what they're looking for, and my boss heard. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I didn't expect him to be listening.
Mhm.
Why the hell would I expect him to be listening?
Well,
It's
it's
2
like
o'clock in the morning.
It's like even with my show, I have to plug the app at least 3 times during my show, or else I don't get. I mean, it's a free app, but I get paid 15 cents a minute if I plug their app.
Yeah, see,
So
that's me. I don't ever want to monetize this show. Number one, we'd have to clean up our language, and that shit ain't happening.
Oh, fuck
I
that.
have explicit language on my show.
Yeah, but they can get a little bit twitchy about it,
Yeah, because
depending
they have
on
more
where
control
you are.
over.
I mean, when I created the channel, I listed it as an R-rated channel,
Right.
not suitable for children. And we've only gone to YouTube jail once so far, but that was because we did something stupid, and it wasn't actually anything we really should not have done. Because I'm be honest, man, I'm still pissed. Is that there are certain shows that I see every single day on YouTube that are reactions to this, that, or the other fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we were doing a reaction show on the World of Darkness documentary without actually even showing any of the video. And we
Right.
were
Yeah.
talking more than they were.
Like a watch along.
Yeah, essentially. And we wound up in YouTube jail over that.
Hmm.
We were off the air for 90 days
I remember that.
because somebody got a fucking bug up their ass. And I'm pretty sure it was somebody in. Well, they
No.
they will tell you who
Sorry, I'm
issued
disappointed.
the strike, and it was somebody with a throwaway account with
Yeah.
the LDS. That's all we got was those initials, and it doesn't matter if the account is a throwaway or not. They don't give a shit. They
Right.
say you did something wrong. We pulled you down.
Yep.
And I appealed it, and they never got back to me. So we had to wait it out. And if it ever
Sounds about
fucking
right.
happens again, I'm gonna get in the fucking car and find this person, whoever it is. I got no sense of
For
humor
example,
about this shit.
in my case, I'll tell you later about it. But I also was on a radio, and it's exactly as you said. If you start monetizing the thing, they control over you everything. But
Yeah.
because even if you actually are marking it as R-rated, they will still like, oh yeah, but my priority is not. So if you can tone down a little bit, like a little bit more, and then they control it. But yeah, it's just easy just to control that and talk every shit we want with the words we want. I personally think it's a little bit open.
And with mine, like they don't.
What he said.
Yeah. I'm not running around cursing every 5 minutes about this and that.
Yep, neither
I'll
are
say,
we. But
I'll say something is complete fucking hot dumpster vagina garbage, but I mean, I won't like, go into explicit details about like, my sexual adventures that I don't have anymore.
God knows, we all wish we had.
Well, talking
Well,
about
you know what?
explicit detail,
I'm proud to say, and since this is a adult unmonitored channel, I have been hooker free since July. So
Now,
yes, I have.
and I've been hooker free since 1966 because
There you
I've
go.
never paid for pussy.
Oh, I sure have. I sure have.
just
I was a
never felt
connoisseur.
that- I never needed to. I had
Well,
girls throwing themselves at me, and I know that sounds a little narcissistic, but it's true. You ought to go back and look at some of my older pictures. Man, I was actually have really gone downhill lately. But I actually did. I was a goth before goths were goth. I was a goth in the 70s.
It's not that I don't ever have my opportunities. It's just like I don't know how long I'm going to be in a place sometimes. And I've moved God, I don't know how many
I've
times.
been keeping track of you, man, and I'm sorry that you had to go through what you had to go through.
And like, I don't want to say I don't want to invest in a relationship, but I mean, dude, if I'm only going to be here in Colorado Springs for at least 3 more months, I don't want to like have feelings for somebody
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's a good
and
point.
invest the money and the time and things like that when I can just go on Backpage or some other website and contact a like-minded individual, and we make an arrangement for a certain amount of money,
I'm
and we trade our friendship.
I've really
And
never gotten over how that is one of the oldest profession, and it should never have been made illegal in the first fucking place. It's kind of like pot with me, you know.
because a lot of it, and this is the sad part, and I've ran in there's times I've shown up to go meet somebody, and straight up, this bitch is 15. I'm out of there.
All right, yeah, no,
I'm like, you can't be older than 17. I'll
Anyway,
leave.
let's go back to Diablerie, dude.
Yeah, Diablerie.
Yeah, we've sidetracked, I think, far enough. So, all right. Luis, Zero,
Yes.
you got anything? Yeah, you got on anything on your chest that you about Diablerie that you'd like to inform
Well,
us about?
again, I think it's as I told you before. I think many things are the control of know how to control the players on the side of the storyteller, and being a player that know try to overrun like getting OP and just be godlike and control everything. Because it's a good story in the way you want to manage it. Kida will hate me, but I actually like 5E, and I've been doing changes to make it more my own. So it's like a
I hate you.
4.5, something different. But I like some of the theories and the stories I like. And one of the things they mentioned is exactly that, how bad it looks and everything. The Diablerie and the, or other way to call it, Amaranth, I personally also like that way, even if it's a little ancient for the Dark Ages side. But it's exactly that. It's how bad it is and how it's look on the new sect, because it's, the camera is still there. They saw it as something horrible that also affect depending how they eat and how many Diableries and everything. They can go to frenzy and affect the Masquerade. That actually can be bad for them. So that's something I don't think we actually touch right now. How can Diablerie can affect the Masquerade?
Well,
And also in hand with that, Luis, you also have to kind of gauge, what the player's reaction is to Masquerade breaches and how good they are at covering it. We had one guy, we had one domain. Actually, it was my domain. I had my sheriffs like have an ambulance on call that we had, and the sheriff and his deputies, if you're frenzying in fucking public, we'd come out, get you, fucking restrain you, throw you in the back of this ambulance, and either calm you down or put your ass in torpor while we're driving you in the fucking ambulance.
we keep the stakes under the damn seat, man. No
Yep.
problem with that shit.
With lights flashing, everything's legal. Hey, this guy just took a bad dose. You have your spin doctor. There's this great book called Midnight Siege that if you're a storyteller or you're going to play a prince or something like that, like when I was a storyteller and someone became prince, I handed them this book. I'm like, you need to read this.
Yes. This is the manual.
Yeah.
RTFM.
RTFM. And it is, but it is though. And what it was a book that was written by Giovanni that said, okay, this is how you run a Camarilla city. This is how you defend your city in a siege. This is how you take a Sabbat city or an Anarch city. Okay, you're in the Sabbat. This is how you keep your Sabbat city. This is how you defend your city, and this is how you take a city. Okay, so now for those of us in the independents, this is how we make money. So it was a great book. It's like this is how we deal with the fucking Kwaijin. This is how we deal with mages. This is how we deal with werewolves.
Demons.
Yeah, this is how we deal with changelings. But like mages was like 2 paragraphs. Like don't go near them
Yeah,
if
just
they're in your town.
no, them
Yeah,
and
keep
the
your
big
distance.
furry nasties. You stay the hell away from both of them.
Oh, they had some creative ways to deal with werewolves.
It's just like easier to handle.
Oh, the Giovanni had some pretty interesting ways to deal with werewolves. But the mages, they were like, just leave them the fuck alone. Stay out of their way.
They're OP, man.
Yeah. Kwaijin,
Handedly the most
Kwaijin are
powerful.
OP too.
yeah.
Oh yeah, those fuckers are in. Don't get me started because I love that game and nobody else likes it.
Nobody outside of Jacob have I heard on the show that was even close to competent and running like because he was doing a ongoing chronicle by the name of Kyoto. Wait a minute, Kyoto by Night. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Kyoto by Night.
Yeah,
Mm.
and it
You know I like that game.
what Kindred of the
Yeah,
East.
but it's like 3 people that I know of all my acquaintances that like Kindred of the East, and it's like not a wide target audience.
In
you
a
like it, I
niche
like it
market,
because
it is a niche of a niche.
That's true.
Another one, smaller one, it's Mummy.
I
Mummy
have
Mummy's
no,
the
great.
book. I love, and they are OP. Nobody's dumb enough to screw with the Mummy unless they know
Okay.
especially if they had been informed about these things. Now, granted, most kindred have no idea.
You want to
None
clear a
whatsoever.
room full? You want to clear a room full of Sedites? Tell them a mummy is here.
Tell them a mummy has arrived and they're going out the back door to their limos and they're gone.
They're going out the back doors, and the Typhons are staying behind to fight it, and they're probably gonna die.
And probably gonna die.
It's usually the
I-
idea.
I love that they're doing a V20 of Mummy. I think that's what I saw on the storyteller's page.
Really?
Yes, really. Oh yeah, I know. That was my response. Oh, really? Awesome.
Zero and I have been waiting for the demon one. Demons are shit.
Yeah,
Yep.
Demon's probably
3
gonna
more
show
years.
up before the Mummy does, but I can go with it. I'll wait.
So to complete-
in theory,
to-
it's gonna be 3 more days. The 3 more days, 3 more years because the original book came out on 2003. So I'm waiting for 3 more years so they actually announce it and say, yeah, D20.
You sure? I thought it was 2020.
Nope, 2003, my friend. I have the
Yep.
book signed.
I don't have mine signed, but I love my book. That was one of those that
Yeah.
I would love to play a Mummy at a LARP. Man, that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, that
the one
would be
I was talking
so
about
much
was Demon. The one I have signed is Demon.
Okay.
Because chances are.
Yeah, Demon came out in 2003.
Oh, it was Demon. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Thank you for the.
the one I mentioned.
Thank you for
Yeah,
the.
the one I mentioned I have.
That came out the year before Gehenna did,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
because that was the year that White Wolf was selling certain books for $6.66,
Yup.
and Demon was one of them, and the LARP version of Demon was another one of them, and we were so excited to play the LARP version of Demon, and then we got Requiem.
I'm just, there's so many cool things that are coming out soon. It's kind of like the Marvel Universe. You just don't want to wait. But you're going to have to. Like, okay, the new Wraith. We've already got that one kick-started. It's in the pipeline. We know that.
And it was already out.
Did they already release it? I missed something then, didn't I?
Which
Yeah.
raid? The raid
I
20? Yeah,
ended
that
up
one is been
doing
out.
that one.
Yeah, you little
Yeah, I ended
asshole.
up
I had to
doing that
throw
one
my
for like
food away
70 bucks.
because you were eating it.
Is
Don't give me that look, Ava.
that Rowan?
No, Ron's been at my side. She's been good. It's the other two. I went outside to smoke, and I came inside, and both Ava and Yoda were both chomping on my grilled cheese sandwich. I'm like, well, I guess I'm not eating dinner.
No, you're not finished. I love the mushy faces. I think they're
Yeah,
adorable. I really do.
yeah, the two Frenchies are adorable, but Yoda's been a fucking super prick today. He, like, attacked my foot. Yeah, I'm talking about you.
I got that. Those ears popped up. I could hear them.
Yeah, he like flings his head over me. Like he attacked my foot because the washing machine was doing that donk 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 thing,
Uh huh.
and like attacked my foot and like twisted my ankle, and I can't kick him off because he's been abused.
Oh yeah, that was what I forgot to start off the show with. Because we were gone offline, the show was offline for quite a while there, guys. This is for the folks who don't know, and that's the folks that are going to be listening to the show after the stream is over and it propagates itself to our web page. I had a stroke, and
Mhm.
then after I had the stroke, it was like every time I turned around, something else happened.
Yep.
And then most recently, I broke my foot. It was I fell getting my I'm epileptic, and my bed is only about a foot off the floor
Mm-hmm.
at its height, because I learned early on that if I had a seizure in bed and I fell out, it was a much less injurious to fall a foot than it was to fall 3 feet. And what happened was I got up the other night. Well, shoot, no, it's the night of the 21st of last month, and I have hardwood flooring, and the foot slipped, and I went down, and it wedged itself under that dresser, and I heard it snap, and I immediately almost
Um,
puked.
Oh God.
It sucked. And you get ready for this one. It wasn't just that. This was 4 o'clock in the morning. There was no fucking way. I was going to the emergency room at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I
Right.
waited until I hobbled my happy ass to the bathroom, went to the bathroom, came back, got myself back in bed without bumping it too many times. And then the next morning it was black and blue and swollen,
Mm-hmm.
at least 3 times bigger than it should have been.
Right.
And well, here's the fun bit. It's my left foot. Now
Mm-hmm.
see if you can figure out exactly what happened here. It's my left foot, and I drive a manual shift car.
Oh. 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 Oh.
Right?
Oh,
Oh. Oh.
It was a
Oh.
new adventure in pain every time I shifted. And I get to the
uh,
emergency room, and I have to hobble my happy ass from the parking lot, because if you're going in to and somebody else drives you, they could drop you off right at the door, but you can't park
Mm-hmm.
right at the door or they'll tow your car. So
Right.
I had to hobble my happy ass. Now I do own a number of canes. I think that's a good thing now in retrospect. And I go into there, and they took one look at my foot and said, "You broke it." I said, "Yeah, you don't even need to X-ray it, do you?" So I've been in
no
the
kidding.
boot for since the 21st of last month, and I've still got another 6 weeks or so. They did.
Um, on the 23rd, I do door to door canvassing, political analyst stuff for the Republican Party. Um,
Please tell me you're not a Republican.
uh, I'm
Okay.
not a Republican, but dude,
You can't expect me to actually
I,
support a goober
I
who
don't,
has
I
no
don't, I don't.
statecraft.
But I don't, but it's just like when you give us the candidates we have for Democrat, I'm like, I know I said I'd vote for any other responsible adult, but like
Bernie,
Bloomberg,
man.
Wait,
Bernie.
Political
Or
affiliation does
Biden. I
not
don't care
matter in this
which.
channel.
Yeah, okay, back to Diablo. Charlotte, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're not going down that road. Thank you very much for pulling us out before
Anyways,
us.
long story short, I got hit by a car.
Oh, bummer.
Um, yeah.
So yeah, that's why we were offline for about for as long as we were, and now we're going to be back on for as a scheduled
Every 2 weeks.
every 2 weeks as we normally do, which will put us at January 24th will be our next show. And I do believe Kide has got us some really nice stuff lined up. Um, let's see here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he wants to do Cult of the Blood Gods.
Ooh,
Yeah, I know,
nice.
right? Oh, yeah, let's do that one.
Actually, looking forward to that one.
So that's our next show. That will be for the 24th of
Mhm.
January. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we're going to be for that particular, dealy. And I keep seeing we keep flickering back and forth between 2 and 3 people watching. It's going to take us a little while to drum our numbers back up again.
Yeah, I get like 10 listeners a week. I'm good.
Well, yeah. I mean, normally we have between 2 and 5. I mean, our record show was the one that Matt Webb
Yeah.
was on. That was the apocalypse of fuckery.
Now,
That is the
before
That's what
we
caused
actually
my expulsion.
before we
yeah.
actually jump to the actual topic, just about the we were mentioning.
Hmm?
I don't know if you know about these because the 24th is going to be too late for it. But right now, there's actually the Kickstarter for the 5th edition Cults of the Blood Gods on of Vampire. It's
Oh yeah.
in 5 days. In
Oh
five
yeah. And
days
I
is
just
the last
forgot
one.
there was our producer wanted me to bring
Talk about
something
it.
up. Huh?
Uh, Go ahead. Sorry.
Our producer, New Wave.
Yeah.
Producer.
So she wants us to do, or where is it? Where is New Wave? There she is. Um, she wants to do. Oh shoot. Wait a minute. Come on now. She mentioned that she wanted something specific posted for this particular
Show.
no yeah oh yeah no yeah oh it was Cult of the Blood Gods. That's what she wanted me to plug. So there we go. There's that. So we're everybody's gonna be happy for that. We'll Kide, start finding some pictures, man. I'm gonna put you on ad detail for a while, and I'm gonna work on trying to get this shit straight, the Zoom or something straightened out. I'm about ready to just say
My
fuck
job.
it and restart my Ventrilo server, and just going with that, or maybe Discord. You know,
You could do Anchor.
you mentioned Anchor. I'll take a
Anchor
look at.
is actually a podcast. That's what I use, and you can choose not to monetize, and it will broadcast over 10 different platforms: Spotify, YouTube, Google, Apple, Rocket Cast, Westward One Radio, like pretty much wherever anybody gets a podcast, it'll play over those platforms.
Okay, so I will take a look at Anchor. Matter of fact, I'll take a look at it as soon as I get off the air. But anywho, yeah, she seems to be She has a serious hard on for the Cult of the Blood Gods too. So it looks like that
Yeah.
might be a fun show. I don't know dick about it. I don't,
Me neither.
and I'll be honest, man. I didn't know dick about Changeling until I started doing the show. So
I remember the Changeling show. That was great.
our first one.
The one that I was on.
Oh yeah, no, that wasn't our first one. Our
Okay.
first one was let's see, that was it was oh shoot, it was Victor Kinzer and yeah. See, I lost a lot of my.
Ava! No! Do not dig a. You know what? You get stuck. You're on your own. You just legit. This dog just legit built a fucking blanket fort. Like,
Okay, no, our first Changeling show was July 5th of 2016. It featured me and Jacob
no.
Vospuel,
Stop.
and then Eric Simpson, who became Keyda's predecessor actually, and Simon Eichhorn.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I learned a lot that show, and I learned that was the night I found out that everybody was always saying, "Oh, it's so angsty to be a vampire. Oh, it's so depressing." No, it isn't.
It's
Changeling,
amazing.
on the other hand,
Changeling is the darkest fucking venue, dude.
is I just I want to slash my wrist after the first 30 minutes. I'm like, it cannot be this bad. Yep, it can, and it gets worse. The higher the banality, the worse it gets.
Yeah. Like, gosh, like I would say good examples of Changeling are the last two Hellboy movies, The Golden Throne and the one that came out last year.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. The new dude, the one that, because I'll be honest, man. What's his name was very
Ron
pissed off.
Perlman.
Yeah, huh?
Ron Perlman.
Yes, Ron was mad that he didn't get that part again.
Well, he's like.
But the new one's like a reboot. And you're right. The Golden Army it was pure Changeling, especially
Have
when
you
you went
seen
into the
Carnival
troll
Row?
market. Oh my god!
No, and the way they
Have
talk
any of you
and
seen
the things
that?
behind it.
Huh?
I was asking if any of you have seen this Amazon show. It's called Carnival Row.
Yeah, the one with Orlando
On
Bloom
my
in it.
list.
Yes, that's actually that's a really good example of the a good example of the cliche.
Have anybody seen Bright with Will Smith? That's
Yes.
Changeling. That's Changeling all over the place.
That's
That's
Shadowrun.
Shadowrun too. Yeah, I know.
That's more Shadowrun than Changeling.
I don't know, man. The elves and shit, and magic.
Yeah, but all that came about when the dragon woke up.
Yeah.
We all had to kind of like learn to live together.
Here's an interesting thing about the one you mentioned, the Hellboy, the Golden Throne. That one
the
actually
Golden Army, yeah.
The Golden Army. Thank you. It's actually based a lot on Changeling because the director was actually Guillermo del Toro, and he's known actually a player for World of Darkness. And he actually mentioned it that one of the things he based on was on that book itself. So it's actually not that uncommon that he's based like many things are from
Well, he also made that movie right after Hellboy, Pan's Labyrinth.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's Changeling.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
fucking
mean,
Changeling.
that's a movie that you actually have to watch because it's all in Spanish. So
I don't know.
you have to.
I've watched the dub. It was.
I have
It worked. I know you people.
That's like going to the gas station for sushi, dude.
I know. What you mean, you
What do you
people?
mean by
That's what
you
I was
people?
expecting to hear. What you mean, you people?
I mean, you people.
You people.
I'm gonna wait for your apology.
But no, that was just the thing. It was. Well, I'm trying to find the quote from Shadowrun. It's shoot straight, conserve ammo, and never ever cut a deal with a dragon.
He also did Blade 2.
Yes, that's
Both of Cowboys, Blade 2.
Guillermo del Toro. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that brother.
Also,
No, he can't make a bad movie. I don't think it's possible.
have you seen The
You
Strain?
can't do anything wrong.
He did also many other ones, but have you seen The Strain?
The
The
show, yeah.
Strain, yes.
It was the book. It was written by him and another dude. I don't remember who else. The book is actually written as a story play, like a movie play. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I've
it
been-
actually
Meaning to get it as an audiobook because I don't read as much anymore now that my eyesight's gone all fucking wonky.
Same.
Oh, here's one for you for the Diablerie. Sam, you wake up one night and you're in torpor.
Well, you don't exactly wake up. I mean,
It's supposed to be funny.
you wake up one night and you're in torpor.
Well,
How exactly
there
do you
was
wake
another one too that from the same book. Matter of fact, is it says tell him to poop. It won't work, but tell him to poop.
What?
Yes. Oh man, I love my games. You even in the darkest of dark stuff, you could still find some humor if you look for it. And you know, some of the best LARP folks I've ever dealt with had an inner stand-up comic. You know,
Oh, you have to
really, you do.
deal with some of the bullshit from the drama queens and all that stuff, especially now in the past at least 5 years.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
you have-
know,
You have to grin and swallow a lot of bullshit from
Mind's
people.
Eye thinks that they're making their game better by doing the crap that they're doing, and or the Austin chapter specifically. But apparently, it's not just the Austin chapter.
No, it's not.
It's systemic as shit, and it hurts me to know that. And I started playing LARP. I didn't play tabletop first.
Yeah.
I started out LARPing, and
Mhm.
it was one of those things where I immediately fell in love with it. And it was one of those situations where you immediately, LARP specifically, but the game itself is you immediately love it or you immediately hate it. And but then if you hate it, you say, all right, well, try werewolf. Hate it. Okay, mage. Like it.
Yep. Pretty much. And also, like, another thing to identify, because, like, I was the same way about certain venues. Like, I love playing vampire, but I didn't really so much like werewolf. Mainly because, wow, there's a lot to understand here. Mage, like, I'll dabble in it if I had free time, but I'm not
Only
gonna.
if I get to play Cult of Ecstasy and I can smoke while we're playing.
Yeah, exactly. But like werewolf, but I just couldn't get it. And then these new rules came out, and for BNS, and like I got my book in the mail, and it was like 900 fucking pounds, and but like I read through it, and I was like, okay, I have a way better understanding of this now. I want to play a Bone Gnar. Bone Gnar fits me. I'm playing that. Just like, with me, Nosferatu and Gangrel fit me as far as, or Assamites fit me as far as characters. And Vampire,
I'm
just
feeling
because,
Setite for my next one.
dude, every time I tried Sedite, it's instant death for me. Um,
Oh, so you go out of your way to start shit. I mean, well, if
well,
you're gonna play a Setite, yeah, okay, go for it.
I was a Viper, so, like, I always played a Viper, and, like, I died within 3 months. So I just gave up the ghost.
Were you
Um,
Diablerized? Or were you just sent to
uh,
final death? There's a difference.
it was more Austin chapter bullshit. Um,
Oh, see, one of those issues. See, that's
yeah,
what I'm talking about. It's shit like that that makes this, that the word gets around that these people can't play well with each other. And then people start blaming it on the game, not the people. And I don't know
Oh.
why that's the case, but it does tend to happen. And
um,
then once you get them around, you get sit them down and straighten them out. And you go,
but
hey,
at the last 2 years of the Chronicle, I got my venture Elder approved, and he was based off of the King of Jerusalem from Kingdom of Heaven. You guys have ever seen that?
yes, I have.
So
I
like
haven't.
I had the mask and the scarves and the jacket and the gloves. You never saw a piece of my skin. It took players 2 months to figure out it was me because I didn't start shit with anybody. But but here's the thing. Little did they know, I was a follower of Lilith. And I was causing shit all day long for 2 years. I was like mass dominating children to fucking kill ice cream men and torment people that had humanity 6 and all kinds of shit. But nobody knew it was me. You
I
you can't
have the
you can't
perfect
overperceive
costume for my
dominate.
next LARP, and if I do get a chance to play it, is I'm gonna show up in a vampire LARP as a ferryman. Let's see how that goes over.
But it's
Yeah, I
just
know that's the laugh I was looking for.
it's just a matter of perception. Like people didn't think that I was capable of playing an elder that just minded my own business, got other stupid venture to do stupid shit for me, and actually sat there, collected XP, got my elder powers,
Well,
learned discipline.
there's a minor power among the ferrymen that, and you don't think about how devastating it can be until you go up against it. Is there being them able to sidestep between the Skinlands and the Shadowlands,
Hmm.
and you can step behind somebody, kind of pull like a Lucida,
Hmm.
tap them on the head with that oar, and they're done.
Yep, pretty much. Just drag them into the Shadowlands. I've had enough of you.
Yes, you're no longer fun for me. Move on, move along.
I got to play Tally at a troop game
The
uh,
Hound,
as
the
a
first
favor to
iteration of the Hound. Thank you.
um, and as a favor to a friend, and like this one Malkavian player was just like going off, going off, going off, going off, and running her mouth and running her mouth, and I force chained her to a tree and put her in Abulut, and that's why I left her. And she's like, "Well,
Fair
you're
enough.
you're gonna let me go, right?" I was like, "Fuck you, I'm Tally. You're
Right?
gonna die, bitch.
Yes,
Ain't
you
nobody
are.
gonna find you. Nobody's gonna find you, and nobody's gonna hear you scream. Per your storyteller. Have a nice night. Here's a character sheet."
That's right. Because you are about to meet the dawn. Oh yeah.
But it's just a matter of perception. Like, you can't be, Bryan in a 3-piece suit, but I'm still gonna act like Bryan. Like, it's,
Well,
you've got to.
that's the basis of a good LARP character is you use aspects of your own personality to
Hmm.
flesh them out.
Hmm.
I mean, I can pull off arrogant like nobody's business. Hence the reason I kind of gravitated towards Tremere. I mean, they actually wanted me to play a Toreador, and they handed me the big green book. And I looked up the Toreador, and I said, "Oh no, no, it's not gonna work for me." Mm-mm. And and then the next page is Tremere, and I
Yeah.
read that, and I said, "Oh, that one right there, that one."
I did Toreador for a bit too, and I had an Elder Toreador, but I was fucking Toreador, and I was loud, rambunctious, fucking. I guess it could be described as pansexual.
Mm?
I was basically Lucifer. I was basically.
Oh, I love that show.
And I had never seen Lucifer. This is before the show came out, but people when they describe him, they say Lucifer because
Basically,
that's exactly how M was. I was basically Lucifer. Oh, you look so sad. What can I do to make you happy?
I'm
What do
so
you really
upset that they
That's,
only
that's my
did one more
enragement.
season after it got canceled, and then Netflix picked it up, and then they only put one more season on the end of it so they could end the chronicle, I guess, the best way. They
We're
didn't
getting
just,
another season.
huh?
Yeah, they
We're getting
actually
another.
the people. The people actually start watching it more on Netflix and everything,
Yeah.
and they're gonna try to bring him up again.
Oh,
I'm actually hoping they do the same thing for Constantine. I really want.
yes.
Yeah.
They
But
That's
no,
usually
me.
they already cast somebody to play God in the next season of Lucifer.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that much, but I thought that was the one that's already been out.
No.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, you know who God has to be, right?
Morgan
Alanis
Freeman?
Morissette.
Oh.
Have to.
I mean,
come
Lucifer.
on.
It's
I don't know
either
if you
her or
guys.
Morgan Freeman. That's the only two options you have available.
I don't know if you guys caught the Crisis in Infinite Worlds thing they had on the CW,
Mm-hmm.
but Lucifer was on that.
Yep,
Ah,
the same as Constantine.
Tom did such a good job with that character. And if you go back and rewatch it all the way through, he never lies. He may be
Nope.
the Prince of Lies, but he never lies. That's the whole point behind him is that you don't have to lie.
I don't have to tell you all the truth either.
Yes, that is exactly what it is. It's either freaking cat, get off me. He keeps wanting to play with my microphone cord or my headset cord. And when
Look at me, I'm cute.
well, yeah,
I'm a
he
cat.
is cute. He is cute for a nubby butt. He is very cute. He has no tail. That's why we call him Mr. Nubby Butt. And he and his sister,
None of my
are
dogs have
collectively
tails.
known as the Wonder Twins. They go shape of a pain in my ass.
No, but yeah, going back to the topic of
Diablerie. Yeah, we got about
Diablerie.
10 minutes. Go ahead. You keep talking. I'll be right back.
So, going back to that. Any opinions? Tell me. Basically, we barely hear you talking.
Because I'm dying.
I know. I want to hear your struggle.
No. Okay, what? What are you talking? What are you saying?
Another question, other topic, anything about Diablerie that you want to mention?
So here's one thing I was thinking. So you see how pretty much consuming the blood of another kindred is, I don't know how to put it. It's corruption upon corruption. Am I right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you're a werewolf and you sense all this worm taint from this one vampire, that would be another good way to kind of curb that that specific problem when it comes to other players that just want to do that all the time. Like just
Yep.
a huge fucking target on their forehead for
I mean,
werewolves.
really, any supernatural creature. Like, you could have a mage walking down the street and be like, wow, like someone of the celestial course. Like, wow, that thing looks particularly fucked up.
Exactly.
I want to see why it doesn't align with my flavor of magical Jesus.
And that's an interesting topic to come back to. I can't
Just
leave you people alone, can I?
no.
It's
Me and
not.
you people.
What was said was about Diablerie, how the worm taint just screams from a vampire
I know.
that commits the act. And I'm like, well, same would go for, like, say, someone of the celestial chorus walking down the street seeing this vampire. Like, oh, you are a completely fucked up individual.
You are.
Why don't you mesh with my flavor of magical Jesus? Let's find out.
Okay.
And sorry, boo boo, here's your new character sheet. Or
That's,
make it really fun that this mage knows what you did or has an idea of what you did. He doesn't know exactly what you did or how bad it is in your society, but he's more than happy to go to your vampire buddies and say blah, 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 or you could tell him some dirty secrets of your vampire society that you know will probably get you killed.
But how many mages in general are capable of? I mean, they know they're supernatural, but how much do they actually know about vampires? You know?
All it takes is like a fifth dot and whatever, and they'll find out whatever the fuck they want.
Okay, that is a good point.
Ain't that much?
No, that is a very valid point.
I've got enough. I've got enough dots, and I'm a
Hunters.
fucking mage.
I mean, hunters know that that's a particularly fucked up individual, and that I really feel like I should kill them.
Well,
But I
yeah, the
don't know
reckoning
why.
does that.
And and I don't know why I think I should kill them, but I do.
Well, the reckoning tells you. If we're talking about Hunter the Reckoning,
Yeah,
the reckoning tells you because that's what happened to wraiths supposedly. All those wraiths became the reckoning, and they're following you around like, you know, Jedi ghost dildo whatever, telling you, hey, you need to kill this
we're not going to leave
motherfucker.
that one down, are we?
You need to kill this motherfucker. He's a werewolf.
Yeah.
Same thing with vampire, but like, there's no way, like a hunter, to really know. Okay, you're a Diablerist. You did this bad thing. Fuck you. You're gonna die. It's I'm gonna kill you because you're a vampire, and the spooky ghost dildo told me to. Same thing with like a mage. Is like you're a vampire. You don't look like the other vampires I've seen. You've got this weird kind of marbly glow to you, and you seem kind of fucked up. I want to know why you're fucked up. And this mage can have enough dots, and fuck it, I'm a mage. And you have enough dots, and fuck it, I'm not a mage. And I'm a mage and not a mage. Well, you know. Anyways, long story short, boo boo, you're gonna do whatever the mage wants you to until you can find a way around that. And it can lead to some interesting story if you're a good role player. If you're a shitty role player and just gives up when times get tough, then here's your new character sheet. Sorry you don't like the story. I'll just give it to somebody else.
Right? No, see, the thing with that I really, like I said, if I ever play a mage, it's going to be a Cult of Ecstasy mage, and I'm going to wander around with a bowl in my hand. And if somebody starts some shit, I'm going to go, stop right there.
Yeah, that's enough to clear a fucking room.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have. I mean, it's
I'll walk around
Temporis
with you with
doesn't
a pack of
exist
gummies.
anymore, really. So they're the only ones who could really use that shit effectively. But they have to be high to do it. You know,
I'll walk around with you with a bag of gummies.
that
Just be
works.
like, hold on, dude.
I
Well,
want a
let's go.
pineapple one. Here, give me a pineapple one. That means time
Only-
stop.
I only have pear ones.
Oh, that sucks.
Like you open the little bag and like, okay, what I'm hunting today? Oh, you're a vampire. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh,
no
blueberry.
shit.
Yum yum yum.
Num num num.
Looks like it's mine 5, motherfuckers.
Yes. See, that's the thing is I've always wanted to take out an Elysium with a thermite bomb strapped to my chest and just roll up in there and go catch you fuckers at a bad time. Oh, boom!
I did that with
You
my
can
ass
clear a
and my
city in a
Nancy.
heartbeat that way, and then the Sabat roll in.
I, me as a Savat, I agree that I approve that message.
Right?
Nah.
Yes.
The
Nobody
lithium
was
is the
going
only
for
place
you.
we have.
Well, here's the thing, though. Even the Sabat understand the value and the advantage of Elysium.
Yeah, because they don't have to follow the rules, but they know we do, which
Right.
means that okay, they can start some shit or not start some shit.
We'll
And
come-
rolling up into an Elysium as a La Sombra, somebody who has a living shadow, following them around. Even the prince can't break Elysium. Not unless he
I
wants
rolled-
to undergo the bullshit.
I rolled right up into an Elysium with my Archbishop and another Templar. We didn't
Because-
tell anybody who we were. We didn't tell anybody we were Sabat until we got to Elysium. When anybody asked where we were going, we said we were headed for Elysium. We're a little lost. Can you
Right.
point the way? And we walked the opposite direction
right?
because we wanted our 4 hours of game. And then finally, the prince called court at Elysium. Said, "Oh, I guess we got to show up." And then we showed up. Like, "Hi, this is the new Archbishop down in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Saul died doesn't mean the Sabat died.
This
come
is
down
my
there and say-
homie.
Come down there and start some shit. We'll fucking kill you. My name is Furio.
That's
Have a
right.
nice day."
Have a nice day. Now fuck off.
Yeah.
And,
And
even, like I
then-
said, even the prince has to follow the rules.
Oh,
That is if
and
he
then
wants to remain prince.
yeah. Well, then I summoned the prince back to her home in Diablerie. Her.
Of course.
Half the cane.
Well, I was also considering that, one of the other things that popped up, and we're going to go here in about 2 minutes, is that there are certain. We've done a show specifically on artifacts of various natures, and there are a few in kindred society, or for instance, the
Arkham
ivory
Razor.
bow automatically causes torpor if it doesn't matter where it hits you. It does aggravated damage, and it puts you in torpor immediately.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
you've got the other one that I was going to bring up for this show is Occam's feeding razor. No.
Yeah. Occam's feeding razor.
Yeah. And I was wondering, could you use that to commit Diablerie?
No.
No.
Well, that sucketh.
Now you can use the necromancy ritual ex nihilo.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could also do what's the one that the Tremere have the ability to pull Vitae out from a distance.
Oh, you can't do that with Diablerie though.
Damn. See,
They
all
do,
the cool
they
toys.
They do, however, have the Tremere milkshakes.
Wait a minute, what?
Just to bring all the boys to the yard.
Yeah, basically they have a ritual where you can get all your boys together, and you can Diablerize this one person, and you all drop a gem.
That's kind of hip.
That's the ritual of the bitter rose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see,
Isn't
there we
that-
go. Now we have something that I brought up earlier in the show was the Tremere are much less of, especially since the clan started with the Diablerie. we're much less inclined to follow that particular rule as far as kindred society. And what you just described to me would be a dead giveaway if you could get. I mean, I'm just saying.
It's kind of like parlay. They're more guidelines rather than rules, because you're not really recognizing the seventh tradition of don't fucking get caught.
It's not has nothing to do with the fact that um, you know that you're committing Diablerie. It's just don't get caught doing it. Basically.
Exactly.
So
It's
anyway,
that way with any of the traditions. Don't get caught.
don't get caught. That's the way that works, man.
That's a masquerade.
See, that's the reason my gangrel has been Prince of New York for quite a while, and he's diaborized a whole fucking lot. That's because he's not out there just making it public.
A gangrel Prince of New York?
Yeah, dude, it was a hell of a fucking chronicle when I got there.
Yeah.
It was actually during the War of New York.
Because there was Michaela was the prince leading up to the clan wars, and then
But she was killed during the war.
and she was killed during the war, and then her successor was almost going to be Victoria Ash, but she didn't like the number of paragraphs in the message, so she said, "Fuck no, never mind." And then the only elder left standing was Calibros. And they said, well, dude, you got to take it. You got to do it.
And then he joined the Sabbat.
Yeah.
But it was Cock Robin, the one that pretty much volunteered Calibros to be the prince. Calibros didn't want
No,
that.
Cock Robin was already dead.
Yeah.
He was already dead at that point. That was the whole Nosferatu storyline underwriting the whole clan war thing was Calibros and all the other heads, all the other Nosferatu elders. There were two major issues that were going on. Number one, the Niktuku were awake. Big problem. And number two, Cock Robin had been assassinated.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about by the time the end of the War of New York. Cock Robin was still around, and he appointed.
Yeah.
He offered Calibros as the prince.
Yeah.
No, what was the other Justicar then? It would have been Cock Robin's predecessor.
It was Cock Robin's predecessor, Petro something. Shit, now it's gonna bother me.
Yeah, I know, right? We'll give you until you can figure it out, or I'm going to go to the wiki, whichever one comes first.
Yeah, go to the wiki.
All right, I'm on it. So yeah, there was an issue with the handing over of New York in general.
Right.
It was just a whole clusterfuck of fuckery. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And the way they put it in the book, in New York by Night, is that Calibros was Prince pro tempore, so he was like temporary prince while shit settled. But the chronicle that I played, my gangrel was like up there in power, and before Cock Robin could volunteer Calibros as the prince, he pretty much offered himself. He's like, you know what? I'll take over. Who's gonna take it from me? So I ended up being Prince of New York, and I've been. Sorry.
All right, hang on.
I've been in for quite a while.
I got it. Got the Justicars pulled up. Let's see here. Bruja.
True.
Cock Robin, Justicar of Clan Bruja. Yeah, he was the one who did. But I need to find out who was.
Bruja. I thought.
Not
What's his
Bruja.
fuck? Was Bruja.
Yaroslav Plasek was the
Plasek.
Justicar of the Bruja.
Yeah, Pasek was Bruja. Fuck.
I love Pasek. Oh God.
Yeah, and I was very fond of the Zagreb's predecessor, Karl Schreck.
And is that
Yeah.
the grab?
I'm looking here.
So
Hang on. Known Justicars. Hold up. I'm trying to find out where we were at. See, they're alphabetically
They're
listed.
higher.
I need Nosferatu.
My baby.
Hang on a second. Finding this page.
Yes, Yoda. I got up off the couch. I got up off the couch.
You
Okay,
got to
you
do
lay down.
this
I'm just gonna go get my
quick,
drugs.
'cause
I'm just gonna go get my drugs. That's all I'm gonna do.
okay.
Gotta take my
Magdalena,
5 fucking eye drops.
Seal, Cock Robin. Okay.
No. Right. Oh.
My babies.
Petrodon.
Petrodon, thank you. You beat me.
Okay.
How was it the wiki?
He was assassinated by Giovanni, I believe.
I thought Fatima did that shit.
No, Petrodon was assassinated by the what's this motherfucker called? The allegedly the last and the last Tremere and Trivio that they were haunting.
Gertrude.
No. The one he didn't even know he was a Tremere. That was the guy who had wound up with the eye.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the guy who
Yeah,
took out
Leopold, but no,
Petrodon.
it wasn't him. Like Petrodon was murdered by the other Tremere long before this
That's
happened,
right.
and Takrabin was after him for vengeance.
Because he really, if you look just go back and look at all the those cute little notes that were in the clan novel, specifically the Nosferatu clan novel.
Yeah.
All those cute little notes that went across Calabros's desk, and they were just hunting the Giovanni like nobody's business, because that's where the trail took them, and that was because the Tremere are smart. So anyway, guys, we're about 7 minutes over time. I want to thank you guys for being on the show.
Thank you.
No, thank you for inviting me again.
Yeah, I'm always happy to have you, man. Always happy to have you and Bryan.
Do I get a quick plug or?
Yeah, no, dude, plug.
Go on Spotify, go on Anchor, go wherever you get your podcasts. It's real simple. It's the Bryan Perryman Show. It's usually an hour, and I usually promise to not talk all about wrestling or Dave Bautista's dick, but it happens. So go ahead and tune in, and there's my plug.
Nothing would go over my head. I am too fast. His best line.
There's this thing going on right now on all the wrestling podcasts. Apparently, Batista has a fucking baby arm for a cock, and
he's a big dude, man.
And like I'm not supporting it. Like I'm not going to talk about it on my show.
No, wouldn't be worth it. I'll talk about it, but I won't. Anyway, yeah, thanks guys for being on the show tonight. Thank the folks that were in the channel. I don't know who was there because nobody ever said hello back. Should I take it personal?
Nah.
Okay.
to be fair, we've been off the air for a long time.
Technically. So, all right, man. I'll see. I'll be speaking to you, Kide. I'll check on you, see how you're feeling. And like I said, you're now on ad detail, and we'll figure out something to do. Who we're gonna get for this Cult of the Blood Gods show? That's gonna be fun. I think that's gonna be a fun show.
That does sound fun.
So, all right. Have a good night. Everybody say good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.